We should start by asking, this is Our Last Week, the podcast. Are there any listeners of Our Last Week?
Oh, lovely. That's great. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
The rest of you.
So some people don't know what they're in, like what the thing is.
So we should give them context. Our Last Week is a comedy podcast.
Yes.
Where every week, conundrums, confusions, things that we see in everyday India, we discuss.
Right.
Kunaal and I write down these conundrums, and then we try to solve our everyday conundrums. And sometimes we do it live because we are sadists. And we like to do it live in front of an audience, which allows us, in the second half of the show, to take audience conundrums.
Yes.
So they can share some of the confusions of their life, which was, again, really difficult to explain. And as another relative asked me the last time we did this live, they were sitting in that corner. Halfway in, they said, "What is this?" And by their silence, they have the same question.
Yeah.
So the best way would be to directly go into
Right.
And let me ask you the first conundrum. Some people are still walking in, and that is quite lovely. Please come on in. We've got places up there. One last thing I want to say. At least this comedy podcast, and in my stand-up also, I try not to make fun of people who are late in Bombay. Mm-hmm. For one simple reason, which is that they've arrived anywhere. And that they're alive at the end of it. Is in itself such a huge achievement.
Yeah.
That I don't think that someone said yes.
Yeah.
That I don't think we should pick on them on top of that.
Yeah, I mean, you could have lost a limb, you could have lost,
a child,
anything. You could have done so much, but you're struggling through your day. You're finally saying, "I'm going to go for this show. I'm going to make it." And 7:05, and then you walk in, and then someone says, "Hey, you
don't have a watch."
Yeah.
He's like, "I lost my child to it." Who's clapping at that? Just shameless.
Yeah.
So we won't make fun of anybody.
No. But having said that, just a quick side conundrum. Because about time, you know, there's something about time that's very interesting to me. Mm-hmm. Is that early there was always a conversation around time, as in what the right time is.
Yeah.
Because even if people who came late, it was a debate.
Yeah.
It's not 7:05. It's not. My watch is saying 7.
Yeah.
Now with smartphones, everyone has the same time.
It's unfortunate.
It's so irritating because you can't use that anymore. It's like, because it's now standardized across the board, the time is the time. Whereas earlier the time had some flexibility.
There was room.
There was room.
What do you mean it's 7:05? For
mine is saying 7. Mine is saying 7. I'm not late, not my watch. So I'm saying that whole thing has gone. It's so sad that you can't debate about what the time is anymore.
And imagine how beautiful that India was. Everyone lived 5 minutes apart from each other.
Yeah.
It's 7:10 for me. My uncle died 6 minutes ago.
Yeah. 8 minutes.
I haven't heard. I'm in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Time was flexible. And I had an incident just now. My wife and I went to see Bryan Adams. Have you heard of him?
Yeah, of course.
Not only have you heard of him, you were saying that he lives near you.
No, the thing is that he's performed so often in India.
Yeah.
I think he lives somewhere in Parel now.
Yeah.
I think he lives in one of those Lodha buildings only. He's part of the secretary. I think he's the building secretary.
Yeah.
He's a building... Mr. Adams, I just want to let you know that the water is not coming in my flat. He's now managing all that stuff.
I think there is actually a Lodha 69. I think
there is a Lodha 69.
I think he lives in that.
Yeah, he lives there. Because I think now is a full-on resident of India.
He lives here.
He tours, but his base is Parel.
Mostly Parel,
yeah.
And like you said, we were talking about this, that this is a big year for concerts in India.
Right.
We've talked about this on the podcast. Coldplay has come to India.
Is coming.
They're not here yet.
No.
Right. Because I thought today in Dibrugarh there'd be a concert announced.
No.
That they're performing in Assamese entirely.
No.
So anyway, big concert. You've had loads of comedians, a comedy festival, loads of things are going on. Yes. But one of the things is that if you don't get tickets for any of those, have no fear, because Bryan Adams is always available.
Yeah, it's always there. He's there. It's like the backup concert to other concerts.
Yeah. Like my wife and I, we couldn't get tickets to anything.
Yeah.
And we just typed in Bryan Adams. He said, where do you want to watch it?
Yeah.
6 cities popped up.
Yeah. He's available on Zomato also. I think he comes home also and you can do that
Please
also.
forgive me.
No, not what I do.
My first conundrum is this.
Yes.
Kunal, do you think in India we live in a no-trust society? I'll give you a specific example. I went to a bank with my mother, and they asked for a 2-step authentication process.
Right.
So my mother gave her Aadhaar card, and they said, this won't do because there's a lot of scams going on.
Right.
And this could be a fake Aadhaar card. She said, but I'm an old lady, it's got my face on it. She said, no. Lots of old ladies are scamsters. You could be a scamster. So now OTP. So she gets a number, and then she gets the OTP. So then OTP is done. They're like, no, ma'am, we're not done. We need your fingerprints. So she put her finger in there, and it didn't match. And my mom had an existential crisis. She said, are these even my fingers? Well, and you raised a great point.
Yeah.
Scamsters have made India so difficult that old people are suffering.
Well, it gets into a situation where you question whether you are who you are, because they go so deep into knowing who you are, know your customer, your KYC, that they want so much proof. And if it doesn't match by the end of it, you're always nervous. You're nervous. But it didn't. But my name. But it didn't. My finger. What? What does that mean? Who am I, Kunal? It's like you start questioning.
Biometric. Your
biometric.
Eyes.
My eyes. Because every time you do it, you're worried that it's not going to be the right one.
Yeah.
So the tension is with you. The fear is the pressure of being who you are is on you.
Very difficult.
Yeah.
And if Ajit starts matching with someone else.
Yeah.
My Bengali mother said, ma'am, this fingerprint matches with one Mr. Shakti Kapur.
Yeah.
My mother's like, I'm a middle-aged, I'm a 67-year-old Bengali woman. Why does it do that? It's difficult. Because, and you were explaining why. Because the scams are getting more and more sophisticated.
Right.
And apparently the big scam going on in India is one of digital arrest.
Digital arrest.
Some people may not have heard of this. Many must have. Where people are pretending to be police officers. So they wear a police uniform.
And they do a video call.
And they sit in front of a CBI hologram.
Right.
And the income tax hologram. And they do a video call with a person and say, your package, it's very specific. They said, your package contained cocaine and we are putting you under digital arrest. Sit down.
So while you're on a video call, you're being
in your
arrested.
House. You've been arrested. In your living room.
Put your hands up. No, only one hand. What do you do?
2 minutes before you were a free person.
Yeah.
Suddenly you're in your breech caddy, arrested.
You're sweating.
You can't call anyone, you're arrested.
Yeah.
Now, this thing is going on in India. Digital arrests are going on. And you had an interesting point. You said that the main reason why this is happening is because they're saying your package has drugs in it, they're arresting you.
Yeah.
And it's because we love packages.
We love packages. I think that because there's another scam which is like your package from Blue Dart has been stalled and kept this thing over here. Please call this number to get the package. And the thing is that we all have packages arriving. At any point in time, you always have something that you've ordered, So then you're thinking, which package? Which package? Some package. And even if you haven't, you want a package.
Who doesn't want a package?
Who doesn't want a package? You always want a package. It's like, I'll take a package.
Loads of people in this audience go down to their watchman and say, package hai? Nahi hai.
Yeah. Because when I pass by and I see the packages lying on the table, on the watchman's table, I'm like, I go towards it very hopeful. Sheepish. I always check the label on the thing and all that stuff. And the guy always says, sir, aapke liye nahi hai. And I'm like, and I go.
You've lost that day.
I've lost. I feel let down. Even if I haven't ordered anything. I just feel like something should come. And if there are packages, one of them must be mine. It's like Christmas. You know what I'm saying? You feel.
And in that hollowness of life.
Yeah.
When a man FaceTimes you and says, aapka package hai. हाँ है.
उसमें drugs है. नहीं, मेरा package नहीं है. मेरा package नहीं है वो.
You're under arrest. एक हाथ उठाओ.
But can you serve digital time also? They say, sir, आप मुझे digital jail में डाल दीजिए.
While the real you is swimming.
I'm doing my thing.
Yeah.
See, मैं digitally jail जाता हूँ ना, आप digital arrest कर रहे हैं, मैं digitally jail जाता हूँ.
But your people in Bombay will still gossip.
He was digitally arrested, by the way.
He's playing paddle ball.
But the truth is,
yeah, he's arrested.
He's arrested actually.
One half of him is in Tihar.
Yeah. And his package is still floating around here and there.
Of all the airlines in the world, including Indian private airlines, all the airlines, why is it that Air India is the only airline in the world that has a person in every airport in the world who's always running, who goes to every gate, nowhere near where their plane is parked, and shouts, AI 776 to Kochi! AI 776 to Kochi! And you are in Istanbul.
Yeah.
Why have they employed? It's usually a small lady in a sari.
Yeah. Just running around the airport, into bookstores and all that stuff. Kochi! Kochi! Anyway.
And she's frightening people for no reason. And it's the same AI-generated version of that lady in every airport in the world. No other airline has it. No other. What is it? And you had a great theory about this.
Well, I feel it is because of, people who've grown up in a certain time in India. They didn't know about this, announcement-free airports where there's no announcements. It's just quiet. You got to go check the thing yourself. You see the board, you see the gate. People grew up in a time when it was always this. There was always an announcement. All passengers on flight, whatever, and they'll say, go to gate 3. Then they'll start taking names. Mr. Subramanyam and family.
Yeah.
Mr. Subramanyam and... It would be some whatever.
And they'd get quite personal by the end of it.
Where are you? Mr. Then it would get angry. Say,
I can see you.
I can see you, Mr. Subramanyam. Please move to gate 7.
Please put on your pants, Mr.
Mr. Subramanyam. So it would go into that. And I think that we've
quite personal.
It's very personal, and when they talk about the personal touch from Air India, it's very much that. It's about knowing people by name, shouting at them, calling them out. It's very much being guided into your plane, you're into you're in the plane. But it's never like, I'm just strolling down the airport and I know exactly where I'm going. No, Indians are not used to this.
Yeah.
We need to be herded into the plane. We need to be like, basically like a shepherd. You need a shepherd, you need sheepdogs. And we are all just sheep, and we're just walking around the airport, eating something, sitting on the floor. And anyway, in Zurich, in Istanbul, wherever it is.
The country doesn't matter.
And it's fine, because it's those kind of people. And not everyone's used to that thing of like, where is my flight? And it's, so gate number 42. This is the 10-minute walk. I don't know.
And even if they can read, they don't give a shit.
They don't give a shit. So then you need someone saying all this.
And it's, hierarchies. So first the lady comes out. Flight 435. And eventually the captain comes out. Saleh, bang! And people are like, he's a captain, educated man. He's just grabbing people by their collar. Our producer was explaining, it's actually no different than the late night Panvel bus.
Yeah.
It's like that. You could be on the 787 Dreamliner first class.
Anything.
Sudhir Chavan! This is just...
Where are you, sir? Where are you, sir? You see a lot of this, and then people very sheepishly walking to their gate and all that stuff. And the late entry into the plane when everyone's staring at them. It's lovely.
And the pilot also, he names and shames.
Yeah,
he's like, that is the Parekh family.
Yeah. We are waiting on the Parekh family.
Yeah. They were buying 4 slabs of Swiss chocolates and 1 Japanese whiskey. Identify yourselves. It's just very sad. Very sad. Kunal, I have another travel-related conundrum. Just happened to me, and it has to do with personal space. I just flew in from Calcutta a few days ago. I'm in an Indigo line, and there's a couple right next to me. It's a very tight line, and they're fighting with each other. Partly in English, partly in Bengali, partly in Hindi, as modern marital fights are. They go language to language. and person was saying, "Tumi useless" in Bengali with an English word, and he's like, "I mean, nah, I'm not useless." And then she switched to Hindi, "Tum useless ho," and he switched to Hindi also, "Main nahi hu." And they got into that. I was standing very close. Lady suddenly looks at me and says, "What do you think?"
Yeah.
It's like, I've heard of murders. You know, you're walking by, stabs him. He's like, "Now you're a witness." I'm a witness in a marriage. He's like, "What do you think?" And the guy said, "Yeah, what do you think?" So then I came up with the line. I said, "I'm just a passenger." So she said, "We're also passengers." So what should I have done? Should I have gotten into it?
So she said, "We are also passengers. You can talk freely." Like where? We're the same.
It's a tribe now.
It's a tribe. We're together now.
Yeah. It's like your passenger, it's like joint family.
I'm also a passenger.
What are you, 32 for? 32A, na? I'm 12C.
Yeah.
Say something about my child.
Yeah.
He's dumb, na? He's dumb. So how far can you enter another family? Sorry, that sounded completely incorrect. That sounded
not so
completely wrong. Especially for an NCPA audience.
You know, it depends. It depends how much time you have.
Okay.
And what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it all depends on, like, if you're in a hurry, if you have some time to kill, is it a long flight, are you just going to be chilling? Because then you can take a deep dive also. I generally get interested. I'm saying, then you start asking questions. Why are you being like this? How long have you been married? You know, like so tell me more. So then you get into it. You get fully into it. And you give some bad advice and all that stuff, and then you leave.
Can you imagine that couple goes back? It's a no-win situation. They sit down, he's like, "That guy was asking too many questions."
Yeah.
Why does he want to know if our child is bad at badminton?
Yeah. And why was he asking us about our mutual fund investments and all that?
Did he put us under digital arrest?
Yeah.
Where does this end? Freelancer gentlemen, what is the worst you have done to collect payment? As a freelancer. He wasn't expecting this question.
Yeah.
They're not going to admit it, are they?
No.
Because they've killed the client, haven't they?
Yeah.
Are there anybody wants to own up? You do? Yeah, that gentleman does. Avinav, can we get a mic to him? Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm still waiting on my payment. I haven't gotten it yet. And
From us?
basically, the client, I was supposed to make an app for a client.
Yes.
And the thing was supposed to be of like 3 months. So I started in August.
Yeah.
But then the client kept delaying it, saying that something's left. So now I'm telling him I'm shifting to a different city and I can't come work with you anymore.
Superb.
Shifting to another city.
Geography.
Yeah.
I'm in Istanbul. I don't care about your app.
I feel that there needs to be an agency. Like, you know how credit card companies have recovery agents?
Yeah.
Who go around just recovering money from people who have credit card dues.
Yeah.
Or loans.
Yeah.
Or even loans. They just go around and, like, you know, they...
Freelance police.
Freelance, yeah. So people for freelancers. Like, so if you're a writer, artist, journalist, you've written an article for, you know.
And you're owed, say, 3,000 rupees.
3,500.
Yeah.
So that the guy will pull up on his bike next to the editor, you know, knock on the window. ये अपना राइटर का पैसा जरा देखना भाई 3,500 रुपया अभी तक आया नहीं अकाउंट में.
And even the editor will be surprised.
Yeah, they'll be like,
because like this, he'd say that writer's spending 6 grand.
Yeah, on this guy.
On this guy for a 3 grand payment.
Yeah.
So you're saying the answer is violence?
No, never. I never resort to violence.
Who's clapping for violence?
Never
This
violence.
This is why that American CEO got shot.
Yeah.
People are clapping for violence.
No, not violence. The threat of violence.
The threat of violence. Especially from people you're not expecting it.
Yeah.
Like imagine this, if this app builder. What's your name, sir? You've got a lovely, handsome gentleman here. Kanishk. You're not changing your name also. City and name, you're not changing. So Kanishk, you know, he looks like a lovely man, wouldn't harm a fly. Now imagine if he sends 12 guys to someone's house.
Yeah.
On a bulk rate. Tanishk का app का पैसा कहाँ है? And the guy's like, सिर्फ 300 रुपया बाकी है. अब 12 लोग आ गया. It's also scale can do things to you.
It's a scale.
Scale
thing
can
also.
do things.
Yeah.
Don't give up hope, Kanishk. This is only the beginning. This podcast teaches you proper violence.
Yeah.
I wrote a Facebook tribute for a very close relative when he passed away. I wrote a tribute, and as you can do if you have a very close relative. Someone approached me, it was on a Facebook tribute. Someone approached me and said, "We love the tribute. Can you write the same or similar tribute for our uncle?" Now, the person I wrote the tribute for was a relative I was very close to. This person said, "Can you write it for my uncle?" And I said, "I don't know your uncle." They said, "What does it matter? We'll pay you." And I said, "That will still not let me know your uncle." And they said, "But we'll give you information." I said, "But how will I originate the emotion?" The post I wrote was personal. He said, "That's what the money is for." And it's a fascinating
the money
Indian...
is related to the emotion.
They generate the emotion.
Right.
This is the thing. So this is a fascinating conundrum because I was like, how do I generate the information? So I said, "Tell me about your uncle." And that's when blew my... He said, "You can meet him."
You can meet him, meaning?
I said, "Meaning?" Exactly. He said, "He's alive. We like the tribute. Can you write this for us?" You meet him, you get to know him, you get all the information, then you write the tribute. When he dies, we'll post it.
So it's...
I said, "So what do you want me to do?" He said, "Why are you complaining? We are paying you in advance.
Yeah.
He may not die for years."
But your money is with you.
Yeah.
You might
Sorry,
not...
Kanishk.
Yeah.
Advance payment. So this is a proper conundrum.
It is. But I would say that as a writer who has a vivid imagination, whose primary job is to write, fiction as well as, stuff based in fact.
Yeah.
You have to approach it like an actor, Like an actor would act like he has an emotion towards a person or a thing or has a certain motivation.
Yeah.
You act like a writer who feels very strongly about this person.
Sailesh uncle.
Yeah.
Where do I begin?
Yeah.
It's because I actually can't begin.
I don't know where to begin.
I've never met him.
I don't know you.
What's there to say about you? There's so much to say.
And yet so little.
The person clapping knows Sailesh uncle.
Yeah.
It's tricky. It's very tricky. Given we're talking about death, I have to fit this in. And I know this is a grim topic, but I think that it needs to be addressed. And this is what I want to say. I want to say that mourning, the act of mourning in our country needs to be more organized. Mourning.
Okay.
I went to the Chautha.
Yeah.
I went to see someone who passed away, old age, 87, lived a long, great life. And I went there, and there is no organization in the mourning.
Right.
I went there, and the deceased's wife, who's 85, is sitting there. The son is sitting there. And that's awkward because they don't say anything, you don't say anything.
Right.
You sit there, they sit there. After 4-5 minutes of silence, there is one throwaway line like, "He got up at 1 a.m. to drink water." Then there's another throwaway line. "Then he was gone." And the son will say something petty, rubbish, like, "Yesterday he went, played his bridge." And I'm like, "Yeah, yesterday he was alive, of course." He wouldn't be pretending to be dead.
And playing bridge.
Yeah. Anyway, awkward silence. And we all sat across, and then they only said, "Acha, chalo." Huh? So it's a thing line. So I guess I didn't say anything interesting enough, but then neither did you. No one said anything interesting.
I mean,
so why are you chucking me out? So it got really so I don't know what the etiquette is. So here's the thing, Western things, proper service. Guy speaks, there's a tribute, body is laid out, so at least you know who's you're attending. People come in, they check the right person. Then they go and sit, and they're like, Harris was a wonderful father, whatever. And then they go into their thing. Everyone knows who's being talked about. Now, you had a theory as to why we can't do that here.
Yeah, because, as in, I think that we don't like to use words to cover up all these things, you know. And as soon as you open your mouth about a person, it's going to get a little bit tricky over here because everyone has opinions. Everyone has, like, you know, you don't want any skeletons coming out of the closet. You don't want the wrong thing said. I think that here grief is dealt with very differently. Where it's just silence. It's more like a staring contest.
Yeah.
And it's about how long you can just stare and stay in silence. It's tough. It's tough, but you have to deal with it.
You out.
Yeah. But now I can't do it anymore. Just leave now. So it's, you kind of try and deal with it in silence mostly. I mean, of course, there'll be some, maybe depending on what community, there'll be, you know, prayers, there'll be silence, there'll be whatever. But I think words fail us at that point, you know, because no matter what you say, it doesn't really summarize a person, right? No matter, because it's always a person's opinion of that person.
But exactly. But what you were saying is that, say, an older Indian uncle has passed away.
Right.
Handing the mic to another Indian uncle.
About that Indian uncle.
Dangerous territory.
It's very, very tricky.
Because if you did organize a memorial service, he's like, and now Harish uncle will say something about Govind uncle. Nobody knew Govind like I knew him.
Yeah.
After that second income tax rate.
Yeah. And let me tell his son, Harish, you don't know who you are actually.
Sorry, Sunita.
Sorry, Sunita.
It has to come out.
Chalo jo hona tha ho gaya. So I'm saying it's a very tricky kind of zone, you know, and it's not, words are not a good idea.
It's hard. That's why we keep all the skeletons.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
Yeah,
we keep it.
It's
in
all that and very little bit.
Not your child, not his child.
Not his child. All year.
Illegitimate. Yeah,
illegitimate.
Has it paid tax in your hands?
No tax. Who's getting the money? You're getting the money.
And the house, who's the house? He's getting the house. It's all eyes.
All eyes.
Because words are dangerous.
No danger.
Words are dangerous. You know?
Yeah.
And imagine if, like, Irish things, we had alcohol at our way.
Oh my God.
That would be... I'm coming for you. It'd become that. You come outside.
Yeah.
It'd get violent between brothers.
We won't know how to deal with
Shouldn't
it.
go there.
You know, I was chatting with an actor friend of mine who actually raised this Shreya Chaudhary, you know, show we did together, and she raised this thing about these medicines nowadays.
Yes.
The medicines nowadays, a lot of them, for a lot of small things, they're addressing the sickness in their name.
Yeah. That's what I've heard.
Yeah. So there's this stomach medicine called Roko.
Clear.
It's very clear. It's very upfront. It's like...
Just don't shit here.
Just Roko.
This is a picnic.
Yeah.
This is
Roko.
a picnic.
Yeah.
This is a funeral. Roko.
Yeah. There's one called Enough, which is more about the mental state you're going through. It's like, enough. Have you taken an enough? I'm dying, man. Just take an enough.
Because you've been setting your pillows on fire, driving your wife crazy.
Enough. Just take
enough.
Yeah. There's a cold and cough medicine called chest and cold.
Direct.
Chest and cold.
You know what it's not about.
What is your problem? I'm getting this chest and cold. Just take a chest and cold. It's not crocin, dolo. It's very confusing.
Galviscon C.
It should just be called
chest and cold.
Dakar. It should just be called, like, you know, one word. I'm saying that they should expand this to bigger diseases.
All
the
like
diseases.
Blood pressure. You know, why call it problem at XL50? It should be just don't die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't die 4 दिन.
4 दिन.
अरे don't die खत्म हो गया.
Don't die 50, don't die 25. Don't die 25.
Can you imagine just 25% of you is dead?
Yeah.
This we have to get out of the way because a lot of people have written in saying this is bothering them a lot in modern India. Mm-hmm. Apparently, in new high-rises
yes,
across India, there's a thing called My Gate.
My Gate, yeah.
many people say murmurs. Many people here have MyGate.
MyGate.
And apparently the biggest conundrum of MyGate is a previous tenant leaves, owner, tenant, whatever, and he has his phone number is registered, and the OTP for everything, guest, food delivery, anyone coming to the new tenant goes to the old tenant. So now new tenant can only live his whole life at the mercy of old tenant. So one listener wrote in saying that they needed the OTP for Chinese food.
Right.
But the previous tenant was having a baby. Had to leave the delivery room and say 4391.
It's a girl. It's a girl, by the way.
And added, your chop suey they've forgotten.
Yeah.
Do you think this is building connections among Indians in a way that's not expected?
Not expected in those ways. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about this MyGate thing, building community. I think MyGate, as our producer also said, it's come a little bit late to India. Because who is at your gate, who is at your doorstep, would have been very useful about 300 years ago. सर कोई क्लाइव आया है क्लाइव करके कोई
ओटीपी क्या है
ओटीपी क्या
बोल रहा है प्लासी गलत ओटीपी है
गलत है
एक छोटा आदमी आया क्या बोल रहा है उसका नाम बाबर
करके कोई है
चले जाने बोलो कुछ उज़्बेक लैंग्वेज में You're saying we needed MyGate.
MyGate should have been
when
there.
the gates
were a thing.
Should have been a thing.
Those were the gates.
Yeah.
Those were the MyGate.
Yeah.
That's my gate. But we left those gates open. As in like,
why put a gate at Lodha Primavera?
Yeah.
You should have put a gate on the Hindu Kush mountains.
Correct.
That would have been a gate.
That would have been a proper gate.
Imagine that OTP.
Yeah.
That would have been, sir, ये 4,000 हाथी लेके आए
भेज दो मेरे लिए ही होगा पार्सल है ना मेरे लिए ही है मेरा पार्सल है
Hello, good evening.
Hi.
Good evening.
So, in my workplace, I have a desk of drawers that I like. It has food in it, like snacks or something, and I keep it and I share it with my colleagues whenever, like, if they are hungry, they are okay to come and raid it.
And they know this. They know this.
They know this. I share it with them. Like, it can be anything: chocolates, chips, snacks, whatever. But there is this one person.
I'm loving this story already.
Yeah, it's a good story.
She always comes and like if I'm sharing it, she will come and she'll take it. And behind my back, she always bitches about me. She's like, I don't like him. I don't like talking to him. She's not from my team. Yeah, she always comes. So my conundrum is, how should I stop only her from taking my food? I don't.
Superb conundrum.
Superb. Yeah.
What's your name?
Shreyas.
Shreyas, there's only one thing this whole audience wants. Even though they don't know your office, they want her name. This is how petty we are. We don't know you. We don't know your workplace. Nobody will see you ever again. But they just see something.
Don't do it, Shreyas. Yeah. Don't do it.
The name is quite unique, so it would be very obvious.
Correct. Don't share it.
I'll
very
give
nice.
A name that you usually use in your broadcast. Her name is Rajiv.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. It's allowed to be Rajiv. Why not? Rajiv, of course, Rajiv. So wait, she eats that food.
Yeah, like,
and then she
like
bitches.
For example, if I'm sharing it with my colleagues, and she's passing by, she'll be like, "Arey, mujhe bhi thoda de," and she'll take it. And like she's not from my team, and I have friends in her team, friends and colleagues, and they come like, "वो तेरे बारे में ऐसा बोल रही थी कि मेरे को बात करना अच्छा नहीं लगता."
See, that's the thing. Shreyas crosses over.
Yeah.
To the other side, makes friends. This person comes in, takes stuff and leaves. This is atrocious.
This is bad.
This is That's exactly what he needs.
On the draw.
That's what he needs.
Rajiv is asking for access.
OTP is not possible.
A little bit of poison would be nice, no?
Yes.
Just mild poisoning.
Yeah. Listen, the easiest is change your job.
I think
Easier
maybe
solution.
maybe mix some of the food with a Rocco or something like that. Just put
As you can see, violence is often suggested
violence. No,
on
no,
our
no,
podcast.
no violence. No, violence.
Here's the thing.
You know what you could do is mention it on some sort of podcast or something. Maybe she'll get to
Which
know.
will go out to at least 20,000 people. Yeah. See, now, what you've actually hit upon is the birth of fascism versus socialism. Because were he to be fascist,
Yeah.
he would just block that food for everyone.
For everyone. No one
For
gets access.
Everyone.
Yes.
Right? And there'd just be no food for everybody. And, you don't have to go very far. You could just,
Everybody loses.
yeah, read the newspapers. There are lots of good hints on how to do that from recent times. You could just block it for everyone. That's a good one. That's a good way to do it. Or you be socialist. Leave it open and hope she'll change. Right? Nobody likes that idea.
No.
Because deep down, we're all fascists.
But I think that there's a capitalist way also.
Okay, say.
A small fee.
Only for her.
Only for her.
Yeah.
As in, you can also give a little account.
Yeah.
You had 3 bites of the dairy milk, 4 pieces of kurkure, 1
But
apple.
that's superb because imagine it'll blow her mind. She said, I didn't know it was chargeable.
It is.
It's chargeable.
Yeah.
And then both the teams are like, yeah, we pay. And then they can see her eating it for free.
Yeah.
And if she doesn't pay, this guy, he knows some people he can send. He can send some proper gundas over. He's like, for 2 dhoklas, you have outstandings over here. She's like, I don't know, I'm a socialist, I don't know. We have great question. Round of applause for Shiv.
Thank you.
We have another question right there, that gentleman over there. Abhinav, right there.
Hello. Hi, guys.
Hi.
So, my mom wants me to get married. And
It's a
Big
tough
one.
I'm
Big
not
one.
too keen
Yeah.
on it as such. But she's asked me to go and pick up some lady who's coming from the US. She's a distant cousin. And so I discussed it with my friends and we're like, yeah, we're not into cousins and all, yeah, come on. So
Yet.
I agree with them. But she also showed me a photo and she's damn pretty. I do not know how to approach this.
When we opened this up live, we didn't realize we might get into some legal issues.
Yeah.
Didn't realize there might be legality involved. We'll start at the beginning. This is actually a great question.
It's a very good question.
Very good question.
Do you currently have a girlfriend or a partner? No.
Then can I just ask a follow-up question? Are you currently married? No. I mean, it's 2024. We don't really know
We
Gen
don't
Z.
know enough. We
The
don't know
world it can be, you're not currently married.
Not married.
But then in the words of Bob Dylan, if you've got nothing, then you've got nothing to lose.
Correct.
See
Except-
where it goes.
Except under certain laws, I'm not sure if marrying relatives is legal.
It's a very distant cousin, he said.
Very distant.
Very distant, yes.
Very, very distant.
Very, very distant.
Very, very, very distant.
I don't know how legal that is.
What are we enabling over here?
Very, very distant.
Yeah. When is your airport pickup?
Tomorrow.
Sorry, did you just come here just for this answer? Look at the pressure on us. We are going to jail tonight.
Yeah.
This is not digital arrest. What if your parents found out you asked us? What are we supposed to advise you? Don't do it. What are they telling you? They're telling you to do it.
My parents are distant cousins.
So then it's all good, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's all fine. What is this thing? I don't know what the big deal is. Go and meet and see if it
But
happens.
this is not 1450.
But it's very, very distant cousin, yeah. Very, very distant. Distant, very, very far away. Very distant cousin.
We are distant cousins. We should tell you that also. This is a very interesting conundrum. Actually, there'll be 2 sides of this argument. We could do a vote. This would be the saddest way to decide your life. Do you imagine if you marry this lady and you're happy 20 years later, your child will ask you, how did this all come about?
I went for this podcast.
And they had a vote with the NCPA audience. We'll do a vote. How many people clapping? Shameless. How many people in this audience? What was your name, sir?
Dhruv.
Dhruv. Great name. Fantastic name. Sanskrit for washing machine. Great name. How many people in this audience think that Dhruv, we don't want to get in marriage, should pick up this lady in a car? Your hand went up before I finished the question, ma'am. Are you his mother? Once again, how many people are on Dhruv's side?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, they're all going to jail with us.
They're four. They're all...
Give her a chance.
Give her a chance.
The marriage market is so bad. Among Gen Zers now, they're like anything. A cousin, can you find any furniture? How many people think this is an act of illegality? 1, only 2 people. 3.
Listen, half the Marwadi and Parsi community would be in jail if it was illegal.
That's probably true. That's probably true. I'm a little behind. This is, well, go ahead, Dhruv. We wish you the best.
I have a question about why can't we Indians stand in a straight line?
Brilliant question.
And when we get to the top,
question.
when we get to the front at the counter, there's always some guy who comes in from the side and starts waving his piece of paper, and another lady coming on this side. What is with us?
It's a brilliant question. We've talked about this a lot.
Yeah, we have.
One of our earlier analyses on the podcast, the way to study this is the life of an Air India duty manager. That is we've talked about this on the podcast. It's one of the hardest jobs in the world. And because the Air India duty manager has only one job. He has to take incoming. Because the plane is always late, the plane is missing, the pilot has died. He's gone to pick up a girl from the airport. So usually the Air India duty manager, if you do nothing else on YouTube, just go to YouTube and type in customers across the world shouting at Air India duty managers. YouTube will give you a city-wise breakdown. You can do Vancouver, London, Rome, Paris, any. And all of them have the same thing, sir, which is one duty manager who's got that Air India badge and some 100 people at a desk shouting, "Where is the plane? Show us your badge. Who is your boss? Who are you?" And it's with the finger, "Show us your badge. What is your number? What is it?" All shouting at him. But what is brilliant is, city by city, you will see the ability for people to crawl in different parts of this guy. The best was in Colombo airport, there was a crowd. One guy came from here, one guy came from here. One guy came from under him. And the guy had only one question: how did you get there, sir? We have an incredible ability to... I was in an airport, I was at Rotterdam, somewhere in Europe, some country where they're used to standing in straight lines because of 2 world wars, number of reasons. They're used to standing in a significant number of lines, and I think the real answer, Kunal, I want to know your view on this because it makes us uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think, it's always about, like in India, whether it's a line or whether it's your own life or your career or whatever it is, you'd never find the straight route to it, right? Like you're always going this way. Like if I can find a shortcut, like if I can see, because in our country, there are so many people that if you actually get in a line and follow that line,
you're a fool actually.
You're a fool. You're a fool. You're a fool because there are so many people. It's like 1 billion people are there in that line. Now I got to just put my head out like this, like just go side to side a little bit.
Something will happen.
And wiggle my way through my life. Right? Like, I got to find my way forward in this line.
That's life in India.
That's life in India. So if you don't have the cutters in the line, that's what defines India, because we're all about how do I just get ahead of this guy, this car, this bike? How do I get ahead of this guy in my work? How do I beat this guy to the airport so I can pick up this girl?
Micro-ambition.
It's small ambitions, but I need to circumvent whatever the structure is.
Sometimes you can bribe. Sometimes you can bribe a guy.
Whatever it is, but I'm saying that there's no straight way to do it.
No chance.
Right? And whatever you have to use, influence, this, that, whatever it is, I'm going to find a way to get around this because there are too many people.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be someone looking over your shoulder in the line saying, how do I go past you right now?
Yeah.
You're a big fucker. I don't know how to go past you.
Yeah.
But
he's not talking to you.
He's not talking
Any
to you.
other, like imagine when the Queen of England died, there was a queue for 4 days.
Right.
Imagine how many bribes we would have given.
Yeah. And the VIP line.
VIP, there's got to be a VVIP and a VVIP. There's got to be one you can line the coffin.
Yeah. Special ticket.
Special. Hey, you didn't get that.
They give beverages also.
What is theirs then?
Yeah.
If you're, I'll give you an example. Years ago, I had attended a rally, an anti-corruption rally, during that brief spurt of the rise of Anna Hazare. And I was covering it for a newspaper, and I went to an anti-corruption rally. And it was in Delhi's Pragati Maidan. It was filled. It was supposed to be transparent, anti-corruption. And people were giving bribes to get closer to Anna Hazare. So I was like, there was bribes to be there. I was very close to him, huh?
Where you want to sit?
Where $500, anti-corruption rally.
See, if you don't get in here, there's always a Bryan Adams concert you can go to.
They also take bribes. It makes us very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
In that line in Europe, I could see there were lots of Indian families, and they're processing it for all cultures. We were the only family, Indian families. And the lady was best. She said, "There's nothing to do here." What she meant is, who do I
see? Who
my
do I
brain,
meet?
like I've got to do something.
You've got to
And
get
trouble
ahead
is
of this line.
if honesty, the trouble is you get to the end of the line in India and some fool will be like, "Hey, how long you waited here?"
Yeah.
4 hours. You're mad or what? We've checked in, we're already in India.
Yeah.
There's no victory actually.
The
in
line
honesty.
it's a problem to be solved.
Yeah,
It's not form of structure or discipline. It's an issue that I need to get around.
Correct.
Yeah, hi, good evening. So I had to travel to US a couple of weeks back, and I'm a big patriot. So I told my HR, I said, I don't want a hopping flight, so can you just arrange for a direct flight from here to New York, which makes all the sense. And she gave me a disclaimer twice. She said, "You're doing a wrong thing. I don't think that's the right advice." But I said, no, Air India is now with Tatas. So I'm good, just book me there. So I got onto the flight, and I sat down, and the cordial air hostess came and she said, "Ma'am, what would you like to have?" I said, "Can I have a glass of wine?" She said, "Abhi thandi nahi hai." I said, "Okay, I'll wait."
Honest.
I said, "I'll wait. You can get it after an hour. We have a 14 hours flight." Then after 3 hours she came. She said, "Hamara baraf khatam ho gaya hai, wo thanda nahi ho sakta." So when I landed at New York, I asked her anything about that wine. She said, "Ab to aap New York pahunch gaye ho, you can have it here." So my point is, when does Air India change? As in, Tatas are also unable to do that. And is there a future of, like, when we travel in Air India and we say, "Wow, it was such a wonderful flight"?
There's something lovely about an air hostess but your conundrum is a fantastic one, who gives up. Who looks at the galley and says, "There's nothing here." There's a freedom.
I traveled also on Air India. I mean, it was comfortable enough. It was just that the purser started with an apology. So it was like, "We're sorry, we're upgrading, we're sorry." So it was so you already now are making allowances. You say, it's all going to change. It's all, this whole thing, I won't be here, nothing, it's all going to change. Everything will change, but we're really sorry, nothing works, like your headphones, all of that, nothing is working.
This is not even a seat.
It's not, and actually we're not even flying, we're just driving really fast. But whatever. But it'll all change. So it started with a bit of an apology. It was a comfortable enough flight. I mean, it was not this thing. But I think the conundrum of Air India, I mean, if we could solve it, then, I mean, we might be employed by them. But it is very much like the conundrum of India itself. It might as well not have air in it. It might just be India. So if you can solve India, then you can solve Air India.
Yeah. That's why they've taken up the problem.
Yeah. It's like a much bigger problem than we can anticipate. So it's a big one.
And the lady, I think, is being honest.
Yeah.
I think it's really great. It frees you. You go up to every customer and say, "Sir, kuch nahi hai."
Yeah.
Chicken nahi hai. So we're going to New York. Nahi hai, kuch nahi hai. Kya hai? Main hu. मैं और आप omelette बना दे. She's open. You want a glass of wine? You're going for a work trip? नहीं है. But look how honest she is. You've landed in New York. There's got to have some wine.
Yeah.
They've got 5 islands. They've got a wine shop. Go somewhere in New York and have wine. She's just being very honest. Chicken nahi hai, thanda nahi hai, pilot bhi nahi hai. We don't know how we landed. But don't you prefer that honesty, ma'am? You know, versus someone says, we'll get it in 5 minutes, we'll get you in 7 minutes. She just says, it's not there. I think it's fantastic. Like, you know, some people came expecting this to be an intelligent podcast. In 5 minutes, they realized, nahi hai. Well, they'll get lucky at dinner.
Yeah.
Whenever I get on a flight or a train, almost by design, I'm next to a screaming baby. I know you've talked about this, but this time I took a train this morning and I thought the time for the babies was over, and I got put next to a loud uncle who was taking a phone call for the whole train. So my conundrum is, how do I handle this? And then I thought there was a way out, but I seem to always attract the babies because the mothers just let the babies go back and forth, and the baby comes and stands next to me, and obviously I can't be rude to the baby. But it's very difficult when it's long-haul flights or long trains. So how do I get some sleep, and what do I do?
It's a great conundrum. I had one, sometimes mums, poor things, that flying long distances. I once on a flight, there was a lady, put the baby down, was crying the whole time, looked at the person next to him, was totally unplanned, this baby, huh? We already have one. Then the whole flight was quiet. Then we realized we should, so that's a good way, the lady just shut us all up.
Yeah.
She said, you think you have problems, we didn't even want to have this kid. So with that kind of a line, you can't do anything. Uncle's a hard one.
Uncles are tough. I mean, you'd have to engage them in conversation, but then your time is wasted in the sense that you can't get rest. If you don't want to hear what they have to say loudly to someone else on the phone.
And it's usually something racist, sexist, inappropriate.
Whatever. I mean, that I'm not like...
So sorry, just one. Can I ask, in any scenario, is it okay to ask them to shut up? Or how do we say that? That maybe... That's the
I think you'll have to fake something. You have to fake an illness. You'll have to like writher in pain and then say, I think that it needs to be a cry for help rather than uncle, please, can you please? I don't think you go there. You have to go into, uncle, I'm dying, uncle. You have to go into like something like, uncle, please get me something. Yeah. So I'm saying like you get into one of those situations where, you just seem unwell, you seem this thing, but confrontation is not...
It's just exactly what he's saying. Just go up to the uncle, I need a Rocco. Just get me one Rocco. And he's like, what is that? He's like, you'll find out. Listen to this podcast where they marry people off.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Uncles, we've all suffered. But what I like is...
Babies, the thing is that, I think there's no getting around it. I mean, because like you could offer to help and all that, but nobody wants to part with their baby.
Or other way around. That could work. Or the other way, like, take him.
Just do something.
Then what do you do? Suddenly you have this child that you have to bring up.
Yeah.
Just because you didn't like some noise.
Yeah. It's a much bigger problem.
Yeah. There goes your mutual fund debt funds.
Yeah.
It's tricky. Uncles I've overheard saying crazy things. Like I've been on trains where uncles have said, nahi, wo dead body nahi hai.
I think that what it should be, and if it's an ideal situation, is that it should be, if there's an uncle who's really loud, it should be uncle versus baby. Because then you don't know who is winning then.
Yeah.
But if they're against each other, like baby's going, wah, and uncle's going, dead body nahi hai, wah, dead body. So then they can outdo each other. It kind of might cancel out.
It's like, they have these children's games, na? Like baby shark or whatever, like shark versus alligator. It's like that.
Yeah, uncle versus baby is a good game you can play on the...
It's a superb one. Yeah.
Hi guys, my name is Yash.
Hi Yash.
Hi. So I have an English language conundrum. So it confuses me every time. How do you answer a yes or no question when the question itself is phrased negatively? Like, for example,
Give us an example.
Someone messages me, "You're not coming to that party, right?" So should I say yes or no to that? Like, I'm lazy, I don't want to type the whole sentence.
This brilliant, Yash. This goes back to that train conundrum. Remember that one that blew our heads? We had a train cancellation conundrum. Someone sent this to us. When you want to cancel a train ticket, it said, "Do you want to cancel this train ticket?" And the option, and it says cancel, and the option is cancel and no. So we were confused if we are cancelling the cancel, or the no was cancelling the cancelling of the cancel.
Right.
We didn't sleep for 4 days. Remember the cancel of the no.
Yeah.
Are you coming to this party? You're not coming to this party, right? No. So you are? No. Yes.
Yes, I'm not coming to this party.
Yeah. Yes. Yash still hasn't answered it. It's a great conundrum.
I think you have to answer with something obscure. Like you have to answer with something.
Radish.
You have to answer with something that that. Or even if you want to say that you're going, then you should answer with party. It should be like very simple. Like that. Say it should just be you're not getting into yes or no.
Yeah.
And your answer should be as ambiguous.
Yeah. You could just say distant cousin. Are you coming to this party or no? Distant cousin? He has lost his mind. Not sure if we want him at the party. But see, he had a very good question. He's like, he wants to answer in monosyllable.
Right.
He's a busy man. He wants to say yes or no. Maybe it's an option. This lady says maybe it's an option. But he's saying, Yash is saying, he wants to stick with yes. Right? They say, are you coming to this party or no? Yes, no. I don't know what to say. This is the thing. I think I'm educated, but I'm failing you.
Yeah, this is...
I think it's best to just ignore that message.
Ignore.
But we'll do a quick poll before we take the last
or
question.
Don't
what was your...
Don't go to the party.
Don't go. Kunal is right. Eventually, don't go.
No.
Whether you say yes or no,
but don't go.
Don't go. Which is how Kunal treats all parties. But yes or no, what was the question? You're coming to this party, right?
You're not going to this party, right?
Double negative. You're not going to this party, right? How many people, by show of hands, the answer should be yes. You're not going to this party, right? Yes.
Yes, I'm not going to this party.
Yes, I'm not going to this party, right?
No,
I'm not going to this party, which is also a yes. How many think it's no? Only 4 people think it's yes. Oh, I hate the rest of you. I don't know. How can you I don't know on this one? Could you sit on the fence on this one? No, I don't know. This is the end of our lives. I don't know. This is the hardest conundrum we've ever had.
Wrong number.
2 words. He doesn't want to do it. He just wants to do yes and no. He's asked us a very simple conundrum. He's trying to simplify his life. No. Right. They say no. But then you're saying, no, I don't not want to go to this party.
No, I'm not coming.
So you're yes, you're coming, yes. You are yes, coming. This is why the British shouldn't have come. That's all he's saying. Yeah. Where is my gate when you need it?
Yeah, lastly, it's a food conundrum. So basically, I have a problem with food shows or recipe videos where essentially what they're teaching us is to how to achieve a particular taste, right? So why in the hell is just namak swadanusar? Why can't everything be swadanusar? Are they just avoiding accountability or something? I don't know.
You're saying that all the elements in the recipe should be swadanusar?
Or nothing at all.
Or nothing at all.
He wants a totalitarian state. He's onto something.
Yeah.
As per taste. You're a genius. This is what the world has been lacking. How is this film? As per your taste.
Yeah.
Why isn't everything swadanusar? I don't account for your taste.
No, but we're talking about making a thing.
Yeah.
And if you like say, so he's right. Like if I say rice is also swad anusar and the tomato is also swad anusar and the salt. If everything was swad anusar, then I won't land up with the thing that I started out making.
Yeah.
Right.
You build a house instead of a houseway.
It'll be a rice castle. You don't know what you end up with.
So he's saying, I can't live in a world with no limits. You can't tell me you got to put proportionate pasta, proportionate thing, or as per taste.
No, only the salt.
Only the salt.
The salt. I'm saying that then there should be salt is also this much. It's also 1 teaspoon or like 1.5 teaspoon. Like why are you leaving salt out of the rest?
Why
of
is
this?
salt anarchy?
Yeah.
There's always one thing in the world like that. Look at India, West Bengal. Like one thing.
Yeah.
That's just as per taste.
Swad anusar.
Swad anusar. You've been there, swad anusar.
Yeah.
Rest of it is measured. Why? Impossible to understand.
Yeah.
You need to be friends with that gentleman who wants lines in India. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.